Hey everyone, this is Lotta Love Hawkins. Was just checking in with you. Thank you for subscribing or at least just tuning in to our YouTube channel with my own lane consultants. You're going to find a lot more content as I'm going to really just bring all my lessons, my teachings, my preachings, if you want to call them that, here to the YouTube channel for just better distribution and viewership. So if you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that way you could be made aware of the new videos that are being added, as well as I just always want to welcome anyone who would like to join me on this platform, do an interview, tell the world about your business as it pertains to trucking entrepreneurs. You are more than welcome to come on, join me free so we can spread this good word all over the place. So if this is your first time watching me and haven't had a chance to check out the other videos in the channel, just a little bit about myself. I technically own two businesses. Just like many of us, entrepreneurs, we're kind of got our hands a little in this, a little in that. I think that's just really just how the world shapes out nowadays. The multiple streams of income is a real thing. It's a great thing, and it's something that I definitely try to help others manage as well. So the company to which you'll see all this broadcast labeled and branded under is My Own Lane Consultants, such as on the wall, all in the branding. And that's because this is the marketing side. This is kind of my vision to be able to get out there, bring all this information about trucking to the community. There's so much diversity in information in the industry that it makes it really confusing to see how best to follow or watch or get information as it pertains to how you want to do business. Because trucking is really such a unique industry in that, there is government intervention in the fact that safety is a public concern, but how you operate, what makes it different from just basically operating any other kind of business, there's that's where all the fine lines come in. One example, and then I'm going to segue into the focus of this video. But one example is just what qualifies as a trucking. What qualifies as a truck. Excuse me. And a lot of that depends on the weight and how you operate. So weight and operate. Just kind of keep that in mind as I'll do another video to go more in depth over what that means, find some resources so you can make sure that you are in the certain weight class and what rules and regulations you'll need to abide by because of that. But the other company, and as I like to call it, and as I work my two businesses, my biggest client is the insurance side, and that's to which I speak of a lot of this content in regards to transportation risk. I am a risk manager. I am a certified claims adjuster. I have, like I said, the agency, which is Lovejoy Risk Management, also known as LRMC Trucking. And so I speak a lot from that perspective, but because an insurance company, if you're familiar with it, if you're owning an insurance company too, can only do insurance as far as, the type of business and exposures and the money and the clients and all that good stuff. And so that's a very, very specific business, and everything else that I do in my love for marketing, my love for networking, fall under My Own Lane Consultants. So that's a brief explanation of kind of why you might see me talking about insurance one day, where my expertise lies in, and then why am I talking about something totally different, but still trucking related, a whole nother video another day. So with that being said, today's video is about a product that really mirrors insurance, and that is for protection. And the differences between a bond, a insurance policy, and then this type of coverage, which is a legal plan, is a little bit of a mincing of words, but a lot of bit of how the back office of each thing works, the technicalities, the disciplines, all that academic part, right? I'm not going to go into the weeds with that. I just want to show you how this product acts in the same general way to provide access. And you'll hear me use that word a lot, this is an explainer video, I guess. When I speak of access, before I got into insurance, before I got into trucking, I was a middle and high school special education teacher. That being said by itself, access and equity, equity. There you go. Being equal and being able to get to it. Let's break it down, right? Is really again near and dear to my heart, because people like to say we're equal, but there's really no such thing as equal. Everybody has different advantages, natural advantages, all those other things. Positioning is a real thing, especially in this business world. But when we speak of being able to get to the same thing, that is called access. Let's just pretend and play, right? For this example, to really just bring it home, is like if you wanted to go to the VIP penthouse, somewhere in New York City on the 50th floor or higher, New York City, right? And their requirement to get into this penthouse club is that you have to be $1 million ring holder as well as a club member. Now, they just gave you two barriers, is what we call them, technical word, right? And also just how we use it in normal English. But they gave you two barriers of entry. The first is you have to show somehow, some way, according to their standard, that you earn enough money, that you make $1 million. And then the second one is, kind of hinged on that same standard, that you are part of their membership. So not just earning enough money, not just having $1 million and let's say you're a billionaire and being able to have access to the club, but they added that extra layer just so you can come in there of you have to be approved and wanted and pay dues or whatever, again, in my example of being a member. So most of us can't get into the club. We can't sneak in, we can't beg, we can't sit by the door, we can't catch them on a slow night. We're just not going to have the access to be able to participate. Let's bring this back to the business world. Same thing exists in business. If you don't have certain ducks in a row, you do not have access. Okay? You do not have access. A lot of business opportunities are going to be hinged, though, on money. In my example, the $1 million, it's going to be, based on, do you have enough for a surety bond? Do you have enough for the ability to buy a truck, to get licensed, to have an LLC? Those are some of those barriers that exist in the business world. Well, when we talk now, the purpose of this video, about some of the barriers to the legal system, the same thing exists, right? The barriers to competent and affordable counsel. You want to be able to talk to an attorney that knows what they're talking about. They're board certified, because attorneys, not sure if you knew, you can go to law school, you could graduate, but you still have to pass the bar. So you still have to take a test in order to get a license, be approved and all that stuff too, pay your fees, do all that other kind of stuff. Aren't you seeing a trend in all this? But you have to do all those things in order to practice law. And then you have to register and, qualify for various states to do the same thing, in different states. All of this boils down to is, can I talk to someone when I need something without having to come up with tons of money, or know someone who knows someone, those type of situations. So today's video is going to do a quick review on a product that I have used personally, I have used professionally, and I'm also using as a business consultant to offer to my clients in the trucking industry. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my next screen and review this product here with you. All right. So this is me, this is them. Let me enlarge the screen just a tad. I have two screens, as any great logistics professional does, right? And I'll disappear here in just a moment. But this is LegalShield. This is LegalShield. So let me disappear so you can see the screen more in full. And let me also try to reduce my banner. Oh, I didn't mean to add that. I meant to take it away. Take it away. Okay, that didn't take, there we go. All right, so you have full view of my screen. So this is my branded site as a LegalShield associate. It is Lotta L. We are LegalShield.com. So I'm going to place that here at the bottom so you can see it. If you haven't, so the product that I'm using or the software I'm using is, I get asked about it a lot, is StreamYard. I love StreamYard for this reason right here. It allows you to do all these cool things, and if I was actually prepared, I would have been able to just press my button, but I actually did a different video here today. So this is the website, my branded website with LegalShield. So it's lottaL.wearelegalshield.com. So you'll also see that again in my URL. And so as I bring this down, LegalShield has pretty much a legal plan for everything. We are, there's a ton of different LegalShield associates out there, and we can offer different types of products. We have to, just a little back office knowledge, we have to take certain classes, pay fees and all that to offer different types of products. But these are the ones that are near and dear to my heart because it mirrors the type of protection that I want my transportation clients to have. So, you have your personal, your business, and specifically your commercial drivers. I'd like to start off with the commercial drivers tab, and then we'll go and talk about the business. And then I'll do some highlights of some other things such as ID Shield, which is really important in this technology world. And then just trust that you'll have an opportunity to go visit the site and click on these buttons yourself. So as we go into this commercial plans tab, I just want to bring the highlight here. How many times, as a trucking professional, especially those that run over the road, you're in a hurry, you're focused on a bunch of different things, and you notice that, you may have been a little over the speed limit going into a little country town as you're just trying to get your load there. And so you get pulled over, you get a ticket, but as a CDL holder, a commercial driver's license holder, every violation can cost you money. And eventually, too many violations can cost you your entire license, your livelihood. So it's really important that you be able to keep your license as clean and clear as possible. So having someone to call that will be able to act on your behalf, which only a legal representative can do. You can't have your mama or your friend without giving them some type of power of attorney call on your behalf about these tickets. These are, again, related to your profession, and, you would have to be the one to handle that. So there is a feature here as we look at more details here in just a moment that will cover and give you guidance and help with these moving violations defense. So the moving violations defense. Now, is it going to say every time you speed, this is a get out of jail free card? No. Some of your violations you earned, you've truly earned, and there's really next to nothing that can be done about it. But if you want to at least contest it, if you don't believe that it was accurate, if you want to even plea to something less damaging to your license, that's where you need a defense team because you're already being cited, you're already being, I don't want to use the word accused, but just to keep this simple, of, that violation. But now you need a defense team. You don't need insurance. You don't need anything else yet because you're still contesting what it actually says. So again, to read real quick for you, this covers not only yourself, but a spouse in case there was a tragic accident, if you need to reinstate your license, any moving and non-moving violations, any property damage, as well as personal injury collections, and that need to be done on your behalf as a CDL holder. So let's look at the more detailed screen. Okay. Whenever I stream, it does take a little more time and bandwidth. So as you notice, first and foremost, It's $32.95. $32.95 a month just to be able to have this peace of mind that you've got a team to help you. Again, not very cost prohibitive. So I just went over some of these violations, but I really, really, really want to hone in on this part here because also as a compliance professional, this is huge. Again, if you're watching this and following my channel, you're most likely into compliance, you're into learning about trucking, and even having your own authority. And so one of the areas that people get in a lot of trouble behind is what we call hours of service, HOS, hours of service, because it's very specific on how many hours you can drive and how to keep track of that time and all this other stuff. So if you ever have a violation and don't know who to talk to and don't agree with, how the violation was calculated even, you now can have an attorney to represent you in those matters. So there's additional coverage for issues such as your logbook, being over height or overweight, equipment violations, mud flaps, lights, peeling tape, because you have to have reflective tape on your vehicle. Hazardous materials, this one's huge because you could get into a lot of trouble by not being properly placarded. And again, I will spend more videos, more time going over what I'm talking about. But if you're already in the industry, you're pretty much following what I'm saying. All right. So then it goes into the specifics, for the tragic accident representation. Again, coming from an insurance broker, I deal with insurance. I have a claims adjusting license. I'm a claims litigation fellow, which means I network with the attorneys that prosecute trucking companies. I get to hear it in my training. So, tragic accident representation. The insurance lawyers are not yours. The insurance lawyers are not your lawyers. They're not there in your defense. That $1 million policy is your policy to pay for, and the insurance policy or insurance company's policy to defend. To defend. They want to keep from having to pay out. All right. So if you or your spouse are ever charged in a criminal act because of a serious traffic accident, this plan will defend you in the court of the original jurisdiction. Again, if you're traveling the country, those words alone are going to more than make up for your price, more than make up. The cost of gas, if you're watching this video now, March 16th of 2022, the cost of gas to get back to your original jurisdiction alone will be, way more than what you're paying on a monthly basis. Something that you can access any time of the month. There is an app for this. You can call multiple times a day, each day of the week, if you really, really wanted to. And so this is access that more than pays for itself. So it goes into, again, these DOT, Department of Transportation violations, very specific. Logbook, overweight, over height, overweight, over height, over length, spillage. If you take again, hazmat, the reason it's hazmat is because it causes a lot of issues when something happens, right? And so where do you go for help? Who can you talk to? Who is going to be on your side and not protecting their interests? All right, personal injury, moving violations. So this is real quickly, and it's offered in various states. All you have to do is make sure when you go up here to click on the state of your choice. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. But let me go in and quickly show you some other types of memberships. And all right, it's going to make me go this way. I was trying to go somewhere else, but as you see at the glance, here are the other types of memberships available. The personal plans, a gun ownership supplement. So if you own a firearm and you have questions on, whether or not certain things are legal, your state doesn't make it crystal clear, or you're just not comfortable with what your state says, because it is a state by state matter. That's why you have to pull down per state. You can have some defense on that. Having a home business, if you are a dispatcher and you're operating from your house, there's certain do's and don'ts legally to take consideration of. And you'll be able to just get the home supplement with your personal plan. So if you don't want to go all out and do the small business plan, which is actually the next plan we're going to cover here in this video, highly advisable. You can still start off with a home business supplement. It is $12. $12 to get some questions answered of how to best and legally run my home-based business. Ride share, so if you do Uber or any other of those type of things, you can get a ride share delivery supplement. A lot of these policies don't pay when they know that you're using it for your business. So just make sure you're protected. You're protecting as well your investments. So let's go in right into this small business plan. I'm going to click it from here. Okay, if it'll let me. All right, these small business plans, like I said, I am not only a user, I am an associate. That's why I'm taking the time to share this with you. But I'm really passionate because it's just saved me a lot of heartache time. Yeah, it's just saved me a lot of time and heartache behind having someone who can help, not just advise. That's really a huge point, because we can Google Google something, we could YouTube University something, but when it comes to help me actually get this done, we get stuck in many times. And so when you can now have professionals that this is what they do, you leave that part up to them, it is really worth the monthly investment. So when you come on here, just click on this video. It does a great job, little 2-minute video that explains everything, but I just want to do some highlights of how this works. You could speak to a business attorney same day many times. You can call them every day about questions you have regarding your business. But let's actually go into some more of the nitty gritty of how it works. I always like to, and I like how they put it on your first page. I don't want anyone to ever do anything that's cost prohibitive, because then it'll just never be worth it, right? And so for $49, you can have 2 users, 3 users for 99, 5 users for still less than 200 a month. But let's even look at the levels of coverage, because the levels increase as well, because it's also assumed if you have more people using this product, you have more potential risk that you may need to be covered. So as you see, all of them offer in-state, again, that's why it's state specific. Each state has their own set of laws, but you get unlimited in-state phone consultations, unlimited, especially in this age right now where everything is digital. We have chat bots and we can get on a website, but to be able to not have to go into a traditional law office, even though they tend to be very pretty, it's still an inconvenience a lot of times, especially for our small business owners. And so to have unlimited phone consultations of any business matter, or most business matters, it's going to kind of specify those things here in just a moment. Is that not worth its time? A lot of times you'll have that free consultation where they'll hear what it is you have to talk about, and then they're going to recommend, hey, for starting of $250 an hour, $150 an hour. You're not going to hear $50 an hour. I'll tell you that now. You won't hear an attorney said, yeah, my starting hourly rate is $50 an hour. That's a myth. And so this is unlimited use for that monthly fee. I just had to reiterate that again. So you also get 10 10 letters on your behalf. And we all know, if you've ever received a letter from a law firm, it just hits different than a letter from, Joe Blow, that you kind of know you owe them some money, or y'all got some issues and stuff like that. Service was late, they want to complain, whatever the case may be. Just when they send you letters, I'll get to it when I get to it. But when we see a letter from the law offices of, A, B, and C Esquire, it does catch our attention, and rightfully so, because that already means it's kind of reached this legal level. But you also get a review of 10 business documents up to 15 pages per year. So get your agreements reviewed. Everybody always talks about having a document reviewed by an attorney, because when you're copying and pasting, you may be copying and pasting a document that was okay for California but sucks in New York. And that probably would be the case. California is very liberal, New York's very conservative. And so, as I said, and I keep saying, each state has a different set of laws. And it's not just changing the word on the document. This is from Texas and now I'm in Florida. There's just a lot of different ways that the states view different things and how they handle it and who's right based on the people who live there. That's what we vote for. And so that's why the laws are different without, a quick civics lesson. So it's really important to make sure that your documents reflect the state in which you operate. And you do have a base jurisdiction. A lot of people in trucking think, oh, my truck goes all over. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But you have a base jurisdiction, the state to which, your insurance policy is based out of, the state in which you're calling home, even if you're all over the place. And that is the state to which, lawsuits and everything come and find you at. All right. The 30-minute consultations on other types of law. Other types of law. Did you even know there were other types of law? I kind of hinted earlier in just talking about family law. You go to a different attorney to sue someone than you would go to get child support. So, you have family law, you have criminal law, you have, as we see right here, tax law, copyright law, intellectual property law, patents. So if you have an original idea, the picture that you're using, the original logo that you're using on your documents, and you want those protected, you can talk to an attorney more about that process. How do I protect? How do I apply for a patent? How do I make sure people don't steal my ideas? If you developed a course, this should be like your saving grace, because although information is free and abundant, your delivery and expertise is uniquely yours. That's really, if you think about school, and again, I'm a former educator. We had teachers each year, different teachers, and we may have fell in love with science one year and hated it the next. And it's the same science material, different level, but same science material. But it was really our connection to the teacher. It was the experience of the educator in order to make the content come alive. It's how you learned and how it became more useful by how it was delivered. Not that you just learned 1 + 1 is 2. So that's my spiel about intellectual property. And then last but not least, you also get a discount on any of the other services moving forward in the larger packages of 25%. You get a quarter discount on the packages that are already priced very affordably. So real quickly, and not to dwell, the next packet, it also includes more expanded coverage for that trademark and copyright information, as well as IRS audits. You guys, the trucking business is full of paper tracking. It's a paperwork nightmare, to be honest. And if you don't have your paperwork in a row, you do, you know, make it hard. You make it hard to support that you're doing things ethically, as I know you are. And so just, to have some extra support here, you get 25 hours of IRS audit support, including representation. So they'll actually go to bat with the IRS for you. If you had customized contracts and stuff that you wanted to do, you just pay 250 to get those drafted. So not a review. A review of a document is, hey, this is kind of what I was using. Is it good? Is it not good? They're going to kind of poke the holes through it, but they're not going to come up with a new document. Now, if you want a brand new document, again, this is what I wanted to say. This is why I wanted to, be used for. They charge $250 with this $99 plan in order to draft it up for you. Or it says they can edit, a document up to 25 pages versus that 15 pages earlier. Then they help you with the copywriting and trademark filing. And then you also get, again, that 25% discount on other services. All right. And then the only difference with this last one is that you get more support of 50 hours versus 25 hours with 5 hours of initial representation versus the 2.5. Okay. So those are the business plans, the small business plans. You could be a one person business. You can have, again, 3 to 5 people in your business, 3 to 5 people in your business. This protects your business and all the questions that you'll have about your business. It is separate from the CDL protection, which specifically protects your license. So if you have a CDL license and you have your own authority, I do suggest getting both of these memberships. But just depending on, how you want your protection spread across, that's how you decide which ones to get, how to get, should you get them. And there are some discounts for getting multiple services together. Last but not least, I do want to talk about ID Shield. ID Shield theft, identity theft is a huge thing and a very, let me see if I can get all the way back out. It's a very sensitive matter as it pertains to the trucking community because, unfortunately, there's a lot of public open access databases, the government database that has a lot of information available for free. And plus, most people, the public being surveyed, most people believe because of the $1 million policy that many authority trucking companies have, that means that these trucking companies are rich and make tons of money. And although you do make a whole lot of money, nobody deserves to be the target of identity theft. But when so much information is out there, so many transactions commonly happen across the internet in trucking because, again, physically you're all over the place. Very hard to even just go into an office if you had a business consultant, if you're rarely in that city, So a lot of business is done online in trucking. And so that's why this identity plan is really important. When you click on this video here, it talks about just some identity things to think about, ways to protect your information. I love this even image right here because if you have children, so often a lot of these apps and stuff are reporting things on your household because, you had to sign them up for different email accounts and stuff like that if they're really young like her. And, unfortunately, children are kind of the gateways to a lot of identity theft for the family. So again, protecting your entire family, that personal identifiable information, that's what we're protecting. Social media leaks it out. A lot of our favorite stores, unfortunately, leak it out, So kind of go through here and just see all the different ways. I know it reads very techy, but it's just there to kind of assure you if you use, the internet across public places like hotels and schools and restaurants and stuff, you actually are subjecting your information on those public platforms. And so, we kind of think or would like to think that our devices are in our hands or in our possession, but you got to remember this internet is flowing, it's moving around, it's how we're connected, and how are people able to get into that is actually kind of scary. Again, this whole platform right here over social media monitoring. If someone, was following your information on social media and they clone, different things you're doing and such and say that they're you and setting up accounts under your business, definitely something you want to know. Password protection. If you have a lot of people that are helping you with your business and you need to make sure they're not creating other accounts or even compromising your password, you want to make sure that you have those kind of things covered and looked at. So this goes very intense into it. There is, different levels to which you can get it. You can have, an emergency assistance if you got, all your credit cards stolen, or you just notice that you can't even get into your own accounts. That's a high level of concern. And so you now can have someone to talk to help walk you through this process. Credit freezes. We hear all the time about using business credit, but what about your personal credit? What happens when you have different things that need to access, these different credits, but, you know, you got to make sure that they're doing it correctly and only at the times that you allow them. So all these services can be included in your plan. So as you see, it's a lot. It's a lot. And you can pair this, and you can also talk about, credit counseling, because that is one thing. Just I'll speak first and foremost. I've been the victim of identity theft, and it's really hard to come up with documentation for stuff that you didn't do and that you didn't authorize to do. And they're asking for proof of this. I didn't ask for this. Why do I have to be the one to give proof? And the short answer on that is because it's your account. It's your account. So if you are wanting to avoid a lot of those headaches, to have people to talk to, I can't emphasize that one enough. You want to have people to talk to when you're in your time of need. You don't want to send in emails. You don't want to sit there and wait. You don't want to be pushed off any longer. So if these are definitely concerns for you and your business, especially as a transportation entrepreneur, I really highly suggest that you look into a legal protection plan. LegalShield offers it. I'm an associate, but there's plenty of other associates. There's plenty of other legal protection plans out there. Some of them are actually, they offer, a smaller plan for personal use through some insurance that you may have. So check those things out. Check out your association benefits. If you're a part of a OIDA, you may have a couple of these services, not through LegalShield, but through a similar company, already available for you. Again, the aim of this channel, the aim of our mission as My Own Lane Consultants is just to make sure information is out there so you can make sure that you're well educated to make the best decisions for your transportation logistics company. So hopefully this was a benefit. Again, check out the website, www.laddl at wearelegalshield.com. You'll know it's me because you'll see my picture at the top. Okay, if it'll show me my picture at the top, but my picture shows up at the top. And so you'll know it's me and that you're in the right place. I greatly appreciate it as a small business owner, the support of the community. And if there's any ways to which I can support you with My Own Lane Consultants, again, if you offer any good product or service of the logistics community, we would love to have you on here. Check out the other videos on the channel. As we're just here to make sure you have the information. I know a lot of people are coming to YouTube, so this is definitely the place to come for information. And we want to have a stake in the education as well, because education is truly our commodity. Well, thank you again so much for watching this video as we prepare to close out. If you have any questions or concerns, follow me on any of my social media, which is right here. And let me go and take off that other piece. What am I saying? So yeah, follow me on any of my social media and I'll be able to make connections and, make recommendations and such for you here today. All right, thank you and have a wonderful day.